I decided to leave my boyfriend when his ex died. I don't regret a thing. I have been with my boyfriend for 2 years now. He has 2 kids ages 6 and 4 with his ex-girlfriend. She moved to another state with kids to be near her family when they broke up 3 years ago. He got them on vacations only. I knew all this when I started dating him. I had no issue with this but told him forefront I couldn't be a parent. I was petrified by my mom and was forced to raise my 5 younger siblings. The oldest of them is 6 years younger than me and I had to change his diapers and feed him formula. After I left my house at the age of 18, I stopped talking to my parents. Would maybe talk to them once every 2 months at most. I can't imagine doing that again. He was also snipped after the last kid and didn't want more kids. He was fine with me not wanting to be a parent and just be a bonus adult. We were taking it slow and I didn't even meet his kids until a few months back. We took a trip together and got along great. Things changed 2 months ago when his ex died. The kids were really crushed as they moved into his house. We were not living together but he asked if I could move in to help him out. Just for a while. I couldn't refuse and stayed to help him. But I started hating it again. I hated how clingy the kids became and how much responsibility I had. I did my best but my mental health started getting worse every day. I didn't even get help from my boyfriend since he was struggling too. Last week was especially bad since the youngest kid had a cold and wanted me to nurse her back to health exactly as her mom would have. The soup wasn't the same, the song and story weren't told the same way, I didn't hug her the way her mom did, and there was a long list of complaints. I know she is grieving but I was already working from home and was stressed too. I don't normally work from home. He asked me to stay home with his daughter stating he doesn't know how to take care of a sick kid. She really was sick at first and I went along with it. But he refused to even help in the evenings. I almost always ended up looking after the kids alone. He rarely did his part. It was either he was exhausted, he couldn't face them, he didn't know how to deal with the grief or I did it better. It was not what we agreed upon when I moved into help. I was supposed to help him, show him the ropes but I ended up feeling like a single mom. When I told my boyfriend he should take over he said they needed me more since I am a mom. It triggered me. I didn't want to be held to a mom's responsibilities again. I told him I can't do this. He said I needed to stop acting like a child and step up. I understood if I stayed with him then my whole life would be like this. Never measuring up, never being enough, and all the responsibilities for mom. I left him and the kids yesterday. I didn't leave without a goodbye. I had told the kids goodbye. I didn't want to cause too much strain and said I was leaving for a while for work. I did just tell my ex I was leaving. I couldn't take another round of stop acting like a child and grow up. As a parent, he got custody. His ex's parents said that was for the best since they were already retired. They did not want to raise the kids. Anyway, I was able to move back into my earlier apartment. Thankfully the landlord hadn't rented it to anyone else. I did have a lease but I did not want to keep paying rent and had come to an agreement with the landlord to sublet the apartment from month to month till I was back. Being back in my space I feel much more calm. After this, I met with my ex. After the initial blasting, he called me yesterday asking if we could meet. I wanted to get more clarity too and agreed. He came over and we had a good talk. He apologized for everything he said and demanded I do. He said it was a big unexpected change for him too. He was scared and didn't know how to raise them, being a vacation dad. Having children home every day and thinking this was how it was going to be for the rest of his life had him terrified. He also told me he finally got a babysitter. Thank God. I said I understood. But I cannot be a mom to those kids. I cannot take up his responsibilities. I want to help, but not in that capacity. I needed boundaries. He said he expected as much. He agrees he should never have asked so much of me. He asked if I could help him, still. The kids missed me and asked when I would be back. He needed me. And I don't know. I do love him, but it won't work out in the long term. And everything he did and said is still raw in my mind. I said as much to him. I can't be in a committed relationship with him. I won't go anywhere. I will help and support as much as I can, but as a friend. I guess we are ending that relationship. I met with the kids this morning. I went over there with some pancakes. They asked when I was coming back to live with them. I told them I have my own home to take care of but I will visit them when I can. While surprised, they seemed to be accepting the situation. They had questions of course, but they accepted I would just be Daddy's friend. His daughter asked if I could still be her best friend. I agreed. I guess that won't be too hard. She gave me a hug before he took them to school and daycare. I actually feel so much better too. This was a role I could deal with.